false alarm there. Good evening. My name is Todd Bright. Welcome to All in Gestures Redline Live. This is our feedback and Q&A session, and we broadcast it onto YouTube and Instagram so you guys can see what we do. And with our gesture drawing workshop, which we have on Saturdays, so you're totally welcome to come draw with us. This past week was really fun. We had our live model was a pirate, and we also had an amazing interview with a legendary Imagineer, Doug Griffith, who is an animatronics animator and audio animatronic animator, and he gave us a lot of insight and wisdom, and it was just really good. It was a lot of fun. So all that to say, we had a really cool session with a pirate, which is one of my favorite themes. The model was great, and yeah, it was awesome. So for those of you who are on Instagram, yeah, Q&A time. So if you have any questions, type those in, and I'm going to try to keep checking, and also on YouTube. And other than that, we have some drawings to look at from some of our members. So we do this every Wednesday now. So thanks for checking it out, spending time, clicking, so welcome in. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? All right, so this is Mr. Corey. Got some work here. Welcome in, guys, over on Instagrams. I see you over there. All right, so what we're doing is we're going over some students' work tonight. So this is feedback session for the students and Q&A for everybody. So if you have any questions, I'm an animator and an Imagineer. I do concept art these days. I came from the animation side of things a while back, and but I host this Saturday drawing workshop every week. And it's almost 5 years old, believe it or not. Still blows my mind. 5 years, so we're going to have a fun time in October celebrating that. But anyway, here we go. So, Corey, really fun. I thought this one turned out really good with your guy. The energy was good. He had a good balance here. I like that lean you got. So I thought this was good, man. I like how you brought the sack out further, you know, to have like that nice silhouette. So that was really cool. But yeah, get in there, man. I know that these are fast, but hey, Alicia, I see you over there in our member chat. We have I got Alicia, Luke, Dory. What's up? Awesome, awesome. But yeah, if you guys have any Q&A tonight, so welcome in over there, Instagram and YouTube. That's what we're doing, Q&A and feedback. So we do this on Wednesdays, so welcome in. But yeah, let's get some faces in there, Corey. Yeah, man. You got some proportions happening. I know these were pretty quick in the session, but yeah, let's get some expressions in there, even just a quickie, you know. We talked not too long ago about just a quick shorthand, you know, like those guitar pick face, or, you know, which is Glenn Keane, we used to call his faces for Tarzan guitar pick faces. Just really quick, really rough, just to indicate some kind of an expression, you know. And yeah, get it into your language there. But yeah, really, really cool. So anyway, just being nitpicky there. Okay, so this one, well, there's a few here, right? I really liked, I'm going to move this down. I really like this guy pretty well. I think you got his attitude really nicely, so really good. I would start, let's see here, messing with a few shapes and things, but I really love this line of action you got. You know, you have or rhythm, actually. That's what I wanted to say, but the back kind of flows into the hip here, really cool. And our pirate model, guys, was really, really cool. He was really loosey-goosey, kind of Jack Sparrow-ish, you know. So we talked about that, just trying to loosen up when we draw these guys. But yeah, I would just start messing around a little bit with proportions with the legs. Sometimes they get a little wonky. Um, he had those big boots on and all that. Those what do you call those? Spats? Not spats, but so yeah, just like if the knee's gonna be like down here somewhere, you know what I mean? Just indicate, and it could be fast. Again, there are gestures, I get it, but I feel like you got the balance down, everything's looking good, but just watch the proportions on the limbs. That's all. But yeah, it's look cool. I kind of get the story here. He's hiding his loot behind his back, and so yeah, I think he did a great job. Great job, man. Awesome. I know you've been putting in the time, doing lots of work, so I could see it. Let's see here. Come on, Photoshop. Let me do stuff. There we go. Alrighty, yeah. So welcome in there, Instagrams. Yo. Hey, Ron Draws. What's up? I see you over there. But yeah, just fire off any questions or what the heck are we doing here? But right now, this is our feedback and Q&A session. Feedback for our members. We have a live gesture drawing workshop on Saturday mornings, and that's recorded, and so you can watch it whenever. But the model is live here in my studio, and we have everybody join in, and it's crazy banter in the text chat, and yeah, it's fun. So, but we had a a really fun theme. I always love it when it's pirate day. I don't know. We probably have done it like 3 or 4 times. Anyway, I'm babbling. So let's do this thing. This guy, let's see, he's kind of falling over a little bit. Let's see, hang on 1 second. Push some buttons here. He's leaning over a little, so I would just, straighten him out. And it looks like the edge of your sketchbook there, I think the drawing is still a little off balance. So let's see. Okay, so, and I get it, he's kind of a drunk, pirate. But even just like Kung Fu Drunken Master, it's like there's still a balance happening, you know what I mean? So you have to try to capture that. All right, so let's see. And the arms are fine and all that stuff. I get it. He's holding up his loot. His pirate treasures. It's like, look what I got. You can't have any. Yeah, man. Let's see here. And yeah, just watch the balance. That's all. Cool. Beep, beep. Alrighty. Very cool. I'm going to move on here. But yeah, nice work this week, Corey. Let's see here. Sorry, I got a little tech thing going on over here. I'm going to get to the next drawing in just a second. Ron, anyone else from Florida here, she said? I am. Where are you at in Florida, Ron? Boy, oh boy. All right. Sorry, I got Photoshop kind of sticking it to me here today. Hang on 1 second. All right, here we go. Misbehaving. Alrighty. Okay, yeah, but good stuff this week. Let's see. Let's do one more. Okay. Do one more. We're gonna do this. This thrusting money's kind of going forward or whatever. There we go. Okay. Cool. Anyway, but yeah, welcome in. If you're on Instagram or YouTube, we are. Hey, BB Chan, what's up? I see you over there on YouTube. Awesome. Um, but yeah, any questions tonight? Just let me know, and I'm gonna keep checking the chat as I doodle and draw here. I don't have a tech guy telling me, "Hey, so and so." So I'll do my best. But all right. Okay, Photoshop. Here we go. All right, so this guy, this is this thrusting one. It's just a little thing. I think you got some good energy going forward. I would just consider a little bit on the proportion side, that's all. And I think this was an early pose in the workshop, so it was a lot faster, so I get it, you know. You're not going to get all the details and doodles in, but all that to say, still be mindful of the proportions a little bit. The torso got a little bit large, and I've seen that as a bit of a theme in your work, but I feel like you've come a long way with that, so I'm just kind of picking on it a little bit. He had those really big poofy sleeves, which is super fun. And we talk a lot about drawing the form underneath the big costumes that we get, and because the workshop, for those of you who are joining us from Instagram, we do a Saturday morning workshop, and it's always a costume model. And so we have really fun themes. And this last week we did a pirate because we had an Imagineer interview that last week that we did, and he had done lots of work on several of the Pirates of the Caribbean attractions throughout his career, and so it was really fun. And we wanted to honor Doug with the pirate theme. So that was my selfish excuse anyway, because I love doing pirate themes. Yar. Anywho, sorry, Corey, I'm just kind of picking away here, but yeah, just be mindful of those proportions. And what I was starting to say anyway, before I got distracted by a thought, was, what did I say? Proportions, but yeah, drawing through with a model, but still trying to indicate sometimes those big shapes. Like the sleeves, are such a unique, fun shape with those pirate sleeves. It's like still indicate that, even when you're going through very fast, But anywho, that's all. Let's see, where is it? There it is. Beep, beep, beep. Cool. All right, let's move on. Cool stuff, man. All right, moving on to the next artist. Thank you for submitting your work again, Corey. Very nice, very nice. And move that over to the side there. Okay, let's see here. Sarah, awesome. You had some really fun stuff this week, Sarah. Really solid drawings. Let's take a quick gander at some of your work here. I really like this one. Proportions were there. This is totally our model. For those of you who are just joining, our live model is Ralph, and he did a great pirate this last week for us. And this is totally one of his signature moves. I don't know. He does this kind of attitude, but I thought you captured that attitude very well, Sarah. So nicely done. And then there's this one holding up treasure. This one looks like he's taking a swipe at somebody, maybe. And this one, he's kind of standing and daring somebody. And this one, I know you had a question about the foot. But let's get to the other ones first. I love this one. Great stuff. These two, I thought you played it a little safe. And I mean, they're solid drawings. There's good balance and all those things. But I've safe in a way, like I feel like we could push the attitude a little bit. Sorry, I'm doing a tech thing here real quick. And, I think Ralph, maybe this was his pose, that was pretty much like this. But I feel like the things are getting a little even. Like his legs are further apart. He's just kind of standing straight up, and he could be holding anything, at this point. But this is a pirate, like holding treasure, right? So he should be really, like, like really, like maybe leaning in a little bit more or something, um, just to try it. Like pushing that boundary, right? Pushing the limits of what's in front of you. It's like, is he showing this to a friend who's like across the tavern or something, or is he like admiring it and maybe he's leaning into it? He's focusing on the actual treasure. Is he holding it up to a light like a torch, or something to see it in its glisten? You know what I mean? Like kind of go there with these things. Like really thinking about scenarios and not just copying the model and being safe. And I get it because I go through all that same kind of thing. But it's like, with these workshops and things, it's like it's the time to really try stuff, And like I said, proportions are great, but so I just might just try one option here of leaning him in, see if I could get something to work here. You know, you can lean him in, you could lean him back, and I'm gonna, yeah, I think I've already made my decision here. I'm gonna lean in, but now I'm wondering if the leaning back is more the way to go. I don't know, but let's try this. And that's part of it, I think, making a decision and going for it. Is he completely wasted? Has he had rum? Lots of rum. You know. And sometimes like a model will do something really even, just kind of, and it's kind of up to us to pick a side, pick a lane, make a make a choice, go for it, And he had his big old sack of loot there, and I love that you drew through. Very good, very good. Yeah. Might bring his foot in just to try that, to break up that A-frame leg. And there's a time and a place for it, but I'm just gonna try just to mix it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Cool. All right. Who's over there in our chats? Awesome. For those of you who are joining us on Instagrams and stuff, welcome in. This is our feedback and Q&A session. So if you have any questions tonight, just let me know. I'm just drawing away, looking at some drawings here from our students. And yeah, and that's what we're doing. And with gesture drawing, it's like we're always exploring performance and acting and staging and trying to push those boundaries and things, okay? And yeah. So I just leaned him forward a little bit just to try it. It brings the focus, I think, a little tighter um, on the object here. You know what I mean? And however you want to design the loot. Obviously, he has his bag or whatever. But yeah. Cool. It's just a thought. Again, you could do a few different things or many different things, but just watch that evenness, that's all. All right. So let me move this guy out of the way, and we'll get on to our next one here, okay? How are we doing on time? Doing good. Kind of going through lots of drawings tonight. Got that one. Let's go to the one you had a question about. So thank you for the question in your email. Let's see. Hang on one second here. So his back is behind, his hand is behind his back, it looks like. So I don't know if that's what our model is doing or what. So bear with me a second. Okay. I think you said, how do we fix that leg? That his left leg is supposed to be the one further behind. Yeah, I think I hope I'm answering your question correctly, Sarah. Um, yeah, part of me wants to mess with his line of action a little bit, like either because if he's standing with his uh, hand behind his back and he's kind of like threatening somebody, or um, it's like, should I have him like chest out, like confident, or kind of like, yeah, kind of leaning in, um, which is kind of the direction I think you're doing. So I almost want to do that. I almost want to lean him in just a little bit more, So just going to do a quick doodle here. Let's see. That hat was so interesting. I loved it. Very challenging. But anyway. Let's see here. I can make heads or tails of this. Hand behind the back pose, I guess. All right, bear with me. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so the leg thing. Let's see if he's threatening somebody. And if the feet start to get a little crazy on you, like the placement of the feet, really consider that ground plane, right? And, use that reference, that model reference, and just see how the feet relate to each other. Like which one's further away, which one's closer, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So I kind of tweaked a little bit more than I thought I would on this, just because I was tempted to lean him forward a little bit. So if he's got his weapon there and his hand is behind him. His little sash thing. So yeah, just watch that ground plane. Like this back leg is going to be, further back here. It's further away from us, right? And then this guy here. So I hope I answered your question. But yeah, really focus on that ground plane. And that's it. Okay, moving on. Going to the next artist here. Move that out of the way. Put it up here. Sure. Okay. All right, Sarah. Lovely work, Mr. Luke. Lots of energy in these this week. You weren't messing around. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, thank you there, Photoshoppy. Okay, I'm going to look at... there he is. This guy here with the drinking one here. Let's see. Let's center that, blow it up a little bit. There we go. Need a coffee sip here. Hang on one second. All right, checking that chat over there, Instagram. If anybody has a question, let me know. Oh, I see some friends that jumped in. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Thanks for jumping in. All right, yeah, so for those of you who are jumping in on Instagram, thanks for joining us. This is our workshops feedback and Q&A session. So, and I broadcast this on Instagram and YouTube on Wednesdays, so we could all share work and you can get to know us a little bit. My name's Todd Bright. Hi. And I'm an animator and illustrator. I do concept design for Imagineering. And I have a class that I teach on Saturdays. And it's called All in Gesture. And so we're doing some critique and chatting about gesture drawings. So yeah, there you go. All right, this one, I like the lean that you have. I feel like it gets, the hip gets a little dislocated there. So I'm gonna maybe bring it in just a little bit. Yeah, those big old boots. That was fun. Let's see. So those who are joining in, thanks for coming in to our uh, feedback and Q&A session tonight. Let's see here. And our live model, which we do on Saturdays, was a pirate. So this was a really fun pirate day. So yeah, just tweaking a little bit on that anatomy. Let's see here. Not changing a whole lot else. There we go. Very cool. Just a little thing there. See what I'm saying? The hip kind of got pushed out, so I just kind of lined it back up with the body a little bit. Okay, but one thing I did like was a lot of energy, like I said earlier, in your stuff this week. So very well done. Okay, let's see here. Let's pick another, Mr. Dude. All right, hang on. Okay. Okay, here we go. Well, it's a little similar with this one. Oop, hang on 1 second. I'm gonna move this guy over a little bit here. You're welcome, Luke. I see you over there in the chat. Glad you could join us live tonight, man. Awesome. Let's see, and Dory asked a question, I think. Todd, also, how would you go about practicing perspective when drawing characters in space? Which brings me to a secondary question. Did you specialize in any particular type of scene in films you worked on? Like, did you more the lower energy scenes or the crazy scenes with lots of distortion? I didn't really specialize in anything specifically. Um, Although one of a really fun assignment was on Lilo and Stitch. I got to do not all of it, but several of the surfing scenes because I'm a surfer. And they're like, "Hey, do you want to do the surfing scenes?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So it was like me and a couple other animators got to do those, and it was really awesome. It's like total dream come true. So, which was very technical to answer your question, I guess, to make it work well. So it wasn't like a high acting moment, but it was like a, get it to look like it's surfing and entertaining. So it was tough, but it was like a dream dream assignment. Okay, Luke. One more, man. I'm gonna do one more. I know we looked at this one with uh, whose was that? I forgot. Earlier, this scene. How can we do this here? It looks like he's kind of dancing a little bit, like he's kind of going doo 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 doo, you know. So if that's the intent, then well, you got it. But I feel like uh, he needs the legs, similar to your last sketch there, just to kind of nudge everything back in line there. Uh, like considering his head, I'm just going to leave the head where you have it, okay? And, you know, dropping that plumb line kind of an idea. It's like really taking a second when you're looking at the pose, like, and try to do it fast, right? Um, like, how is everything lining up? Because we want our balance, right, to work. Let's see. So his back leg is probably the one with all the weight on it. And that needs to be somewhat centered in this particular case, I guess. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Cool. Yeah, it's just bringing it in then. So I just read your comment, Luke. So that was good. Yeah, it's just bringing it in and just making sure those feet are relating to that head, especially in these types of poses. And this is straight on, right? So those are always a little bit more challenging. Where am I on the camera here? Straight on. Straight on. Okay. And I think that arm got a little short, maybe. And this leg is coming forward, so you know you might try to reverse the cuffs on his boot, just to make it look like it's coming forward a little bit. Not necessary, I guess, but it's just one of those things, like mixing things up a little bit, getting some reverses happening, um, you know, to give it that illusion that it's coming at us, and that's the leg that's in front, that kind of a thing. All right, cool. And if you want to bring that arm higher and coming at us, that's fine. But maybe might need to do something to sell it coming at us a little bit. Uh, but yeah, man. That's all. Just watch those balance. Okay? All right, moving on. Good energy though, Mr. Dude. Man, oh man. Sorry. We have a finicky Photoshop. Hang on one second. Trying to move things along here. Come on, Photoshop. Talking to you, man. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, hang on, guys. Sorry, I got a quick. Wow. All right, just gonna turn that off. All right, moving on. Just gonna improvise here. All right, Dory. Okay, cool. So this was a pose from last week that didn't make it through, and now we have it. Yay. Okay, so this one, I think this was the leg you were talking about. And to your question about perspective, let's see here. How would you go about practicing perspective when drawing characters in space? Um, well, we talked about the grid when I was talking about, I think it was Sarah's drawing. And that's a great one to set up your ground plane to help you see that character in space. Will help establish a few rules, and it might answer some questions uh, that you might have about the pose. Okay, let's see. Let's check in those chats over there. If there's any questions over there, Instagram, I see you over there. That's right. Cool. And Extinguished, I see you over there in YouTube. Thanks for joining. So, you guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay. But what we're doing right now is we're doing feedback from our students. Yep, that's what's going on. All right, proportions wise. All right, so this one, Dory, remember this leg was a question you had. And I think her proportions, her torso got a little long again. And I think we can do something a little bit. I'm going to try to go over what you did with the placement. I might bring the tub out like it's, I'd have to see the model. I don't have it in front of me, but you know, just like that, straighten the arms a little bit and just kind of playing with the attitude. And I always like to not do what I'm told with with poses. And sometimes maybe I should dial it in and do what's in front of me, but I think it's good to try certain things like if she's carrying this big thing, maybe her arms are bent, I don't remember, but it's almost like it's a little bit more relaxed when the arms are straight out to me. I don't know if relaxed is the right word. Um, a little more casual. It's just kind of like maybe she's resting it on her front hips a little bit, or um, not that it needs to appear that it's 1,000 pounds or something, but you know, I don't know. I just want to play with it. So, okay, coming at me and practicing perspective with your drawings. Let's see if we can incorporate some of that. Um, but first, let's try to fix that leg there that you were talking about. I think she had those big old overalls on. They're a little bit baggy. This was for those of you who are just joining in, welcome back in. We did a farmer theme a couple weeks ago, and this was a drawing that a student is sharing from that theme, and it was really fun. We had big old overalls. Just gonna draw her hat there. Anyway, leg-wise, with that foot, like I want to get that planted to the ground, and in your drawing, I feel like I could see the underside of her boot, but I also feel like it got reversed a little bit, and it's not really weighted to the earth. So maybe she's kicked her foot out, and she also had boots on, didn't she? And maybe she's resting on the heel. And so again, talking about that ground plane, um, probably it would appear to me that the feet are probably pretty close to the same line, as far as one's not further back than the other, right? Um, so I would probably put that heel of that foot in that line, that, and maybe go back and look at the pose, and really see where it lines up with the other foot, okay? And, anatomy wise, like, consider that straight of that calf, which would be underneath those big pants, and then you have, not calf, but the shin rather, and the curve of the calf under there. And just, watch that it doesn't bend forward, right? But the think of your shin, right? If you hit your shins, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's like a straight bone right there. There's no curve to it. Okay? And that'll help give it a little bit more direction there. Okay? So yeah, dude. Alrighty. Oh man, this thing. I'm trying to move these guys out of the way. Alright, here we go. But yeah, really cute though. I like the expression and the face, and really fun. Okay, let's see. We have a few more artists, so we're gonna do one of Dory's pirates. And yeah. Cool. You're experimenting, Dory. I like that. That's good. Yeah, it's good to push it. This is what we try to talk about a lot, right? So, and sometimes we push it too far. But one thing we always say a lot in art, and I think even gesture drawing and anything, it's like if you don't push it far enough, or rather if you push it too far, right? You can always bring it back in, right? You can always dial it in, you know. But if you don't push it far enough, then it's kind of lost. It's you kind of have to redo the whole thing. So better to push it too far and then reel it in a little bit. And that could be an idea. It could be a drawing, right? It's like just go for it. So I'm glad you went for it. So you want to try surfing, but you would likely die. Yes, it is part of it. Okay, this one he's got looks like a prisoner. This is our pirate. Uh, let's see here. A very cool idea. Very much like that idea. Let's see here. I don't know. I'm just gonna tweak a little, okay? There's something a little even about the legs, and I know Mr. Ralph was doing that. Uh, Dory says, do you know what the problem is? I play music, and Milt calls it said never to do that. That's true, he did. Let's see, with this arm, his left, um, and I know Ralph had his hand down, but I feel like just to the silhouette, consider that silhouette. I might bring that hand up here. I know he's holding the rope, but maybe that's our rope, and it could be dangling. But just to give that hand a better silhouette, okay? Let's see here. Let's see. I'm gonna check this chat over here on Instagram. Hey Todd, how do you build up speed for gesture drawing? I feel like I get stuck trying to focus on details too much and don't feel fast enough. Well, I think getting speed is just repetition, honestly. It's getting down the essence of the pose quickly and then worry about details later. It's like when we're throwing these things down on the paper or your screen or whatever you're drawing with. Um, you're trying to find the idea first and really going for the whole pose at once. We talked a little bit again about that. It's actually in a little video I posted yesterday or something um, from the class, actually, from last week's. And, just really thinking about the pose as a whole and like that line of action and the idea will help guide some of that. You're like, oh, you know, he's sad. So you don't want to just do it in the face, sad face, right? You want to do like sad body, like, maybe he wasn't even doing this, but maybe he was kind of doing this, but you're like, oh, I want to feel that more, or putting the head in the hand, or, like really considering the action and in the idea. And when you think of these things, as you observe a pose or somebody doing something out in the wild, right? Like consider that and try to get that emotion down, you know, rather than worrying about how nice the hat is drawn or things like that. You could do that later. But the thing about gesture is that foundation. So if you have a nice foundation to your pose, that's where the spark of life is going to come. And you can always add in details. So, but yeah, get it down quickly and then move on. So Dory, I'm not going to mess with the head angle. I'll just leave it. But I do like how you brought things out. So really well done. Like you brought all of this stuff out um, with the silhouette. So I think that was fantastic. That was good. I just kind of messed with this one up here. Um, so yeah, like I said, I was just kind of tweaking. I think that arm got a little short, so I just did it. And you could bend the arm, but it also needs to read. But I just made the arm longer. And then you have your guy here, your prisoner, your POW, whatever. Okay? So, yeah, cool idea though. I love that you put a prisoner there. That's really fun. Okay, moving on. Wow, we're kind of flying through the night here. So we're going to make these quick. I'll try to do less babbling. There is a question on YouTube though. Okay. Newish to gesture drawing. Cool. A lot of these so far take the clothing and the model's wearing into account instead of capturing the figure underneath. We do both, BB Chan. Yeah, I definitely push everybody to draw the form underneath because the costume, or the form rather, dictates what the costume does. So that's a really good observation. Um, but sometimes these things are so these oh, I see what I'm doing over here. Okay, hang on, I'm doing a tech thing. Sometimes these costumes are so cool. You do want to indicate a shape just to get it down. Uh, but yes, definitely take account what's underneath. So very good observation. All right. So would you recommend taking clothing into account as well? So yeah, that's basically what I just mentioned. But yes, I would say form first and then clothing, right? But taking into account as you draw, as long as you're understanding what the form's doing, you don't always have to draw everything perfect, like the complete naked form, and then start clothing it like whatever you call it, like a doll. But it's more like if you understand what's going underneath, like indicate like what you need, draw through. We talk about that. Like if you're drawing a dress or something, you don't want to just, draw this. I don't know if you could see it on the screen, but legs poking out from under a dress. You want to draw the whole thing, right? You want to draw the legs, indicate that, and then the dress is going to react to those legs, right? So I would say both, yes. Long answer there. Yeah, and I think it's okay. I mean, you're the artist as far as what you put in and what you take out, but yeah. But yeah, details like we just talked about with our last artist can come later, okay? But yeah, that's all. All right. Thank you, Dory. I appreciate it. Okay, this is Scott, Mr. Dude. Really great energy as always. Um, I don't know. I love it. Love it, love it. This arm got a little shorter. I don't know if his arm was bent or not. Let's see if I could find it. Oh, I think I found it. All right, cool. Yeah, I think that arm got a little short. Um, Even if it was going away from him, maybe in the pose, like I would do something to indicate that going away, like the folds. Uh, so there's the arm there. I love how you put the sack up on his shoulder. That was a really great solution because I know the model was not doing that. Awesome. I don't know what to do with those folds there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna do something. Hang on. Erase that. Okay. Let's see here. And I know we're kind of coming up on time here, so I'll make this quick. We have one more artist to get to. It always blows my mind how, at least for me, the hour goes pretty fast. Okay. Yeah. Arm got a little short. Maybe do something to indicate, with the folds a little bit. So, but yeah, that's all. But really great energy in this. I could tell you had a lot of fun. I love this one. I thought it was great. Let's see. Yeah, Scott is one of our artists who is constantly drawing and going to the mall and posting a lot of stuff every week. So check him out, Scott Strube. But and that's the way to do it, man. You got to get out and draw. So um, obviously, selfishly, come to our class, everybody. And we have a great community of artists and everybody. But yeah, take that sketchbook, take it with you wherever you go. Just like you're grabbing your wallet. Okay, you can get big ones, small ones, whatever works for you. Because you never know, and you might catch a fish, right? What was I doing here? Yeah, nothing, Scott. It's great. I like it. Okay. I think I was just finishing a section that you probably would have finished anyway. So never mind. Looks good. Just dropping the crotch down on those pants is all I was really doing there. I think the calf got a little long. The lower leg got a little long. I would have dropped that calf down here just a little bit, right? I know he's got boots on, but you know what I mean. And yeah, that's all. being nitpicky. Really nice stuff, Scott. Thank you for sharing it, as usual. Very loose. All right, RW, welcome back. All right, all right. This one, very cool energy. Thrust. This one I really enjoyed doing, but I also struggled with it. Keeping it on the page in my own giant pad behind me here. That was really fun pose though. Let's see here. I'll lighten that up a little bit. Thank you for the questions tonight, by the way, guys. I love it. Chiming in from YouTube. Oh, Jomana over on Instagram. I don't know when you asked this. I'm sorry. Is this video recorded? This particular video is recorded, but I don't post these on Instagram. They will be posted on, on my YouTube, so you can check it out there. Okay. Thank you for asking. Yeah, man. Let's see here. This one, I think you got the energy in. I love the straight you got there with that sleeve. You know, go ahead and make those pirate sleeves. They kind of bend and bow there a little bit. Let's see here. Head got a little bit big. Just gonna mess those proportions a little bit, okay? Let's see here. I think the legs got a little small. But yeah. So those of you, thanks for jumping in here a little bit on our Instagram and our YouTube. We're just about winding down. Went through a bunch of drawings from our members, and join us this coming week. We're going to have we did a blue collar themed month, except for last week where we did our pirate, because we had a special guest and everything. But this week we will be doing a butcher. So we got a pretty fun costume for that. Got some killer knives and all kinds of butcher apparel and fake meat. So it ought to be pretty fun. And one of our models coming, I know he'll knock it out of the park. It'll be like a fun, happy, humorous butcher, not a nightmare butcher. Okay, let's see here, RW. Just yeah, I was just kind of tweaking a little bit of the what am I trying to say? Proportions. It's getting late. Sorry, losing my mind. That is in my way. There's a drawing in my way. I don't know how to get rid of it. And also a little bit of structure there, and this is going to come with time, okay? As you learn more and more of the anatomy. This is like, you know, the rear end. And then obviously what's going on under there is a bunch of leg muscles and stuff. You got tendons back there. I know this is all buried by pants. And then you kind of have that taper. Same here, you're going to have that quads up here. You're going to get that kneecap there, and you're going to have the calf there. And then all of this wonderful boots and crazy stuff. And baggy pants, folds, things like that. But just starting to get a little bit more structure with those legs and things. And I think we're going to do another anatomy lesson and get those legs as the main subject, I think. So we will be doing that in the near future. I don't know about this week, but we'll see, because we do need to do that. So anyway, all that to say, watch proportions and start considering a little bit more structure and anatomy. And I know, you know, this is gesture, and just like we were talking with a friend over here on YouTube, It's not all about the details and things like that. But when we add that knowledge to ourselves, like of anatomy and form and structure and all of those things, and we do those studies, when you do go to throw down these ideas and motions and acting, it's like all of that knowledge will just help you as you lay in that stuff, those muscles and things, okay? So, anywho, well, I want to honor your time here and call it a night, but really cool. Oh, wait, here we go. We got a comment from Dory. Is that I can't help but think how much it would be fun to do Sweeney Todd. Okay, we could look into that. All right, all right. But yeah, that's all. Thank you, Instagram and YouTube, for joining us, and thank you to our members who are in our member chat. And yeah, we'll see you this Saturday for a butcher theme. It will be a happy butcher or a humorous butcher, not scary. Although maybe that'll happen too. I don't know. But you're welcome, RW. Yeah, really good stuff though. Good energy, RW. So keep it up. Okay, keep going. Keep pushing. I like it. Yes. Anyway, what else? 5-year anniversary is coming up, so get in there. It's gonna be fun. And that's all I got to say. Go draw things. Go to sleep or wake up wherever you are in the world. Walk your dog. I don't know. Okay, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time tonight, and we'll see you next time.